Welcome to Music Makers. Today we have with us Cheryll, Penny, and Deb from Tequila Mary. Let's get started. We'll go around the table here real quick. We'll start with you, Penny. Introduce yourselves and tell us about where you grew up, where you live now, and what position you play with Tequila Mary.
Oh, okay. Well, thank you for having us. I am originally from Guernsey County, Cambridge-Byesville area, and I've been in Tuscarawas County for quite a long time now, so it's pretty much home. I am the chief tambourine player and cowbell player in Tequila Mary. I unfortunately am not lucky enough to play guitar, although I would really, really like to, but that's another story. But yeah, that's what I do, and I just sing and have a great time with these girls, for sure.
How many years training did you have on the cowbell and the tambourine?
Oh, at least 45. 70s.
And how about you, Deb?
Well, I'm from Canton, Ohio, and I live in Dover, Ohio now. I play guitar and sing vocals with my peep. That's the gist of what I do with our little group here.
Awesome. How about you, Cheryll?
Well, I was born in Parma, Ohio. I guess we moved down to Holmes County when I was in 8th grade sometime. Been in band since I was 8 years old, I guess, and so that's kept me pretty busy. It's my favorite thing to do, so I love that.
You mentioned you've been playing or been in bands since you're 8 years old. Talk about that, some of the bands you've been in, some of the projects you've been in, basically how you first got into music as well.
Sure. I can remember when I was a toddler sitting in my crib with a cigar in my mouth watching Jim Croce play on the TV. He's really who got me started in music. I just was so impressed with him. And yeah, I don't know who did, but somebody gave me a little stogie. So I'm sitting in my crib watching Jim Croce on TV. And I decided I wanted to learn to play guitar, which I did. And where I learned to play guitar, they were having some type of international band competition at Cedar Point, so they entered our band. It was me on lead guitar, a rhythm guitar, bass, and drums. And at 8, I was 8 or 9 years old, and we went and we won the competition.
What was the name of that band?
It was like 3 sharps and a flat or something like that. Something goofy.
I'm sure you were so adorable.
I was adorable, and I was really very good at guitar back then, and then I kind of slacked off over the rest of my life and just did it here and there, but I wish I would have continued with it the way I was, yeah.
My daughter and I are going to go see A.J. Croce, which is Jim Croce's son. My daughter's just turned 16. That's her favorite artist, Jim Croce.
You. Yeah, he's amazing. There's never been anybody like him, and his son, they say, sounds very similar. So you're going to have a good time.
Yeah, it's amazing how his music, and he didn't put out all that much music. I think he only had like 5 albums.
Yeah.
But boy, those songs, they really stood the test of time.
Honestly.
And they ring true to people because they're story songs.
Correct.
So, let's go back to you, Deb. Same kind of question. How did you first get into music, playing music, and have you been in other bands or projects?
Well, I grew up with music. My mom and dad both played. My mom played rhythm guitar. My dad played the banjo. And I used to sit and watch them play and say, someday I want to do this myself. So I've been in a number of bands. I think I started in my 20s, unlike you two. My first band was over in Germany, and don't ask me what the name of the band was.
Eichnuttenbong.
But I played over there. I played for Rosenthal Crystal. I don't know if anybody knows what Rosenthal Crystal is, but it was a crystal company in Germany. That was amazing. And then I came back to the States and played in a few bands just for a little while, and then formed a band called Blazing Country and played in that for a few years. And then I played with Reb Robinson and Brian Burrell. And then I played with Dan Gribble and Jerry Waltz. And now us.
How did the Germany come about?
My ex-husband was in the Army, so we were stationed over there for 3 years. And
Nuremberg?
No, near Grafenwehr. So that's how I was over there and got to be with, the people and new musicians. And they had a band going and wanted a female singer, so
Were the musicians over there that you played with in Germany, did they know all the American music? Was it pretty much
They were American.
Okay.
They were
all in military with
Yeah.
your husband. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome. And how about you, Penny? Same question.
So, yeah, my parents as well were musicians, and my dad was a professional musician, played on the road, played in Vegas, toured with a couple country artists in the late 60s, and I have loved music. I was thinking about my earliest memory really was as an infant, and my mom singing to me, Patsy Cline Greatest Hits. My best birthday was when I must have been about 4 years old. I got a record player and started listening every album I could get my hands on because my mom and dad had a great collection. Started singing in my bedroom like every other little girl and little boy does when they want to be a singer. And my mom, I was about 9 years old, said to my dad, "Listen to her sing. We're taking her tonight to the gig." And my dad said, "No, we're not." And she won that fight. And that was in the summer of 1975. I was 9 years old, and I literally started singing that weekend in July of 75 and never stopped every weekend until about 1993. That's no exaggeration. That was my whole elementary school and high school life, was going to school and singing at night. Going to school, singing at night. A couple hours of sleep at night.
Well, you can really tell that you're the lead vocalist because your voice really comes across beautifully on our station here.
Oh, my goodness.
This is the Music Makers program, DNP 102.3. I am your host, Randy Powers. We're sitting down today and we're talking with Deb and Cheryl and Penny from the local band Tequila Mary that I'm sure everybody within our listening range has either seen or has definitely heard of. If you haven't seen them live, I have, and it is a very enlightening, enjoyable, fun experience. How did you guys find each other? And has it always been this particular lineup, or has it changed? Or
I know Deb and Cheryl had played music earlier before I met them. And the way it came about, this is a small community with a ton of musicians, right? And everybody knows everybody, but sometimes you don't know everybody. Deb and I met through a mutual musician, Mike Meese, great steel player. And she ran into me and said, "Hey, why don't you come over and sing with us?" And I'm like, I haven't sang literally for 17 years, been raising my son, my husband and I've taken a break and I don't think I can sing. I'm sure I've lost my voice. I can't sing. She goes, "Just come. We'll sing old country songs. It'll be fun." So I went, and she and I started singing a little bit together, and what was supposed to be a 2-hour jam, I think, turned into about 8 hours. I called my husband and said, "I don't know when I'll be home. This is so much fun." And so I said, at the end of that day, I said, "Hey, come over to my house. We'll sing some more songs." She did that a couple times, and then she said, "Hey, I know somebody else." I said, "They sing harmony?" "Yeah." "Bring her along." When we sang the first time together at my house, I mean, it was a visceral experience. It was like, wow. It was almost like that family blend, I feel like. It was, I remember saying, "Should we do something with this?" Because we all really thought it was pretty good. And I was afraid people wouldn't like it. And then we were like, well, what are we going to play? And what kind of songs? What do we want to do? And we were like, we're going to play everything we love and everything that when we've been in bands and people say, "No, we're not going to play that song," or "We don't like that song. That's so stifling." And we kind of promised each other we'd never be that way with each other. We at least would try it. And sometimes that works out and sometimes it doesn't. But at least in this group, and it's always been this lineup, that we have that freedom to just try it and see what we can do. And we've came up with some really pretty fun stuff. So that's how we got together, was just mutual people and singing together and saying, "Hey, well, that's kind of cool." So,
well, I'm sure that one of your guys' favorite artists is Linda Ronstadt.
Yes.
I got a couple hands raised here. She goes back, obviously, with Stone Pony into the late 60s, early 70s. And she had harmony back in the day with a couple guys that you might have heard of, Glenn Fry and Don Henley, who actually started out with Linda Ronstadt before they went on to play with the Eagles. And obviously, the Eagles being one of the greatest harmony bands you'll ever hear. Let's play a track. Let's listen to a Tequila Mary version of Linda Ronstadt doing Willin'. This one comes from about 7 years ago or so from the Schoolhouse Winery on DNP 102.3.
We're going to do a truck driving song now. We are. Got any truck drivers? Those three little girls out there are laughing. They either... Well, I'm not just, yes, okay.
It's not 18 wheels and a dozen roses.
No, it's actually not. No, it's much cooler than that.
Well, we hope it is. We shouldn't be pretentious because it might just suck and then you'll go, that wasn't cool at all. This song is normally a very cool song. Hopefully we'll do it justice, but this song written by Lowell George, Little Feats, called Willin', and probably is a song that I never get tired of singing. So, hope you like it. I've been warped by the rain, driven by the snow, I'm drunk and dirty. Don't you know that I'm still willing? Out on the road late last night, seen the pretty Alice in every light. Alice, Dallas, Alice. And I've been from Tucson to Tucumcari, Tehachapi to Tonopah, driven every kind of rig that's ever been made. I've driven the back roads I wouldn't get away. And if you give me wide sand, and you show me a sign, well, I'll be willing to be moving. All right. And I've been kicked by the wind and robbed by the sleet, had my head stove in. I'm still on my feet, I'm still willing. And I've smuggled some smokes from boats in Mexico, baked by the sun every time I go to Mexico. Oh, I'm still, and I've been from Tucson to Tucumcari, Tehachapi to Tonopah. I've driven every kind of rig that's ever been made. I've driven the back roads I wouldn't get away. And if you give me wide sand, if you show me a sign, I'll be willing to be hold that note, Penny. Hold that note. Thank you very much. Glad you enjoyed that.
That was Tequila Mary with Linda Ronstadt's Willin' here on DNP 102.3. I am your host, Randy Powers. This is a Music Makers program. We have Tequila Mary with us today. You guys tend to do long sets with very few breaks. I also love the banter, the lightheartedness, and the humor at your shows, as you could kind of hear on that last track. Is that a conscious effort on your parts, or is it just something that comes natural?
I think when we first started out, it came out of major nerves because, and the long sets absolutely did. When we played our first gigs, we decided right there at the gig, hey, do you want to take a break? We should take a break. No, if we do, people may leave. And we were afraid, honestly, that they would clear out. Because most people are pretty sweet and won't leave during a set, but you take a break and it's like, oh, we got a chance, let's blow, right? We didn't want that to happen, so we decided to keep playing. What we found after that was that we were having so much fun, which is so great. I don't think I know I've never been in a band that was that much fun. You kind of watch your watch and is it time for a break yet? It's never been like that with Deb and Cheryl. We always have so much fun, and the banter that we have with people, oh, that's everything. I mean, we've said that's what it's all about for us, is just having fun with people. But yeah, that's how that came about. Nerves and then just pure joy.
Yeah, listening to that track, having seen you guys perform, I really get that vibe. That last track was from about 7 years ago. How long have you guys been together as Tequila Mary?
About 7 years, 8 years
Is that
maybe
right?
now. Took a little time off during the pandemic. Everything kind of shut down. And so we stayed home, and then we said we'd never take a break that long again. And then we took a little bit of a break through the winter and said, we'll never take a break that long again, because we get together and we're like, oh my God, what happened to our voices? They're tired. We've been together about 8 years now.
So during the pandemic, did you guys get together and practice together, or did you just take a break altogether?
We did one time in Penny's backyard.
Yeah.
Remember that, Penny?
And I was too shy. I didn't want to sing in my backyard. And I'm like,
Yeah.
people are going to hear. I don't
Yeah.
know why. Yeah, I'm really quite shy apart from that. And I also don't like, if I'm at a gig, I like to be the singer, but I don't ever tell people that I sing. I never do. And I don't know why that is. So I didn't want to do it. But the neighbors were like texting, going, we hear you and it sounds so nice. Yeah, we didn't. We didn't see each other. We did some Zoom parties, but we didn't see each other.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, that Schoolhouse Winery, we have our production manager here, Larry. I believe Larry filmed that show and posted it on YouTube. Am I correct, Larry?
Yes.
So there's an option right there. Don't go see them live, though. You'll never get the same.
Larry Karoll. Yeah.
Larry Karoll. Yes, Larry Karoll with the history of rock. His show comes on at 4 o'clock every Saturday. So you definitely want to check out his show. It's an amazing show. So I have my guesses as to how you came up with the name Tequila Mary. Before you tell me that, did you have any other names you were bouncing around before Tequila Mary popped out?
You know, Penny, you do have the best radio voice, and I would prefer you take this one as well because you do a great story.
Okay, well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yes, I had a few other ideas for names of bands. And one of them was from the movie, Andy Griffith was in it, Facing a Crowd from the 50s, 60s, whatever. And he was a singer and just went mad. It was a great movie. And in it, he always called his guitar Mama Guitar. And when we got together, I'm like, Mama Guitar, that's so cool. Girls, guitars. Oh, they weren't having none of that. They were like, looked at me like I was insane. They brought some ideas and I looked at them and said, that sounds like a Holiday Inn lounge band. No, I'm not being in that. And so we could not come up with a name. So one of those infamous evenings at my house, they come over and I had spouted that we had a whole bottle of tequila that my husband got for Christmas. I don't know. I didn't know he had been drinking it. So when they got there, there was about an inch of tequila in this great big bottle. And we didn't know each other very well, so I was a little bit embarrassed. But I said to Cheryl, well, you can have the tequila. I don't drink it anyway. And so we did, and we went down in the family room, and we were getting ready to sing and talk. And Deb said, well, I won't drink a Bloody Mary, but I will drink a Tequila Mary. And I said immediately, what is a Tequila Mary? And as soon as I said those two words together, I went, wait, that's our name. That's our name. And they're like, what? And I said, no, think about it. It's got booze in it. That's everybody can, relate to that. And it's Mary, so that's a girl's name, but none of us are named Mary, so it's random, and that's cool. So I said, I think Tequila Mary would be good. And they were like, yeah. And since we all agreed, we didn't think we could ever agree again, right. So we took that one.
So in lieu of a Bloody Mary with vodka, you would do a Tequila Mary in the morning? I think it's called a Tequila Bloody Mary.
I don't know about the morning necessarily.
We're not morning drinkers.
I would. with a stalk of celery and an olive.
A hot dog and
piece of bacon.
I think if you just went with Bloody Mary, that might be like little heavy,
Yeah, that would be Tequila Mary as a thrash metal band.
Bloody Mary, that's probably
Mama Guitar with Bloody Mary.
Let's play another song that you would hear in a Tequila Mary set. This one is from the program Nashville. I believe it's called A Life That's Good. Can you talk a little bit about this particular song?
Yeah, that song, the show was on ABC. It was a nighttime show with Connie Britton and Chip Eston, and it was like a nighttime soap type of show. And it was all about the ins and outs of being a middle-aged female Nashville singer and all the fun stuff that goes with it. And it caught my eye, but the soundtrack and the songs from that show were so great that actually the cast toured with that season 1 and season 2 soundtrack. They actually did live shows and did a bunch of shows at the Ryman. There was little girls, little sisters, Maisie and Lennon Stella. are their names. And they sang a song called Life That's Good. And it was a really, really nice song. And it's the first song that we ever sang in public, actually. Me and Deb and Cheryl. We decided to try it, and we liked it a lot, and it's become a fan favorite.
Well, from the show Nashville, this is Tequila Mary doing A Life That's Good on DNP 102.3.
Said I'm here tonight by the firelight. It reminds me I already had more than I should. I don't need fame, don't want to know my name. At the end of the day, Lord, I pray I have a life that's good. Two arms around me, heaven to ground me, and a family that always calls me home. Four is to get there, enough love to share, and a sweet, sweet, sweet song. At the end of the day, Lord, I pray I have a life that's good. Sometimes I'm hard on me when dreams don't come easy. I want to look back and say I did all that I could. At the end of the day, Lord, I pray I have a life that's good. Two arms around me, heaven to ground me, and a family that always calls me home. Always to get there, enough love to share, and a sweet, sweet, sweet song. At the end of the day, Lord, I pray I have a life that's good. Yeah, at the end of the day, Lord, I pray I have a life that's good. Thank you very much. Thank you so much.
That was Tequila Mary doing their version of A Life That's Good here on Music Makers. I am your host, Randy Powers. We are with Tequila Mary. You guys have a Facebook page. Are there any other ways that you get the information out for people to find out where you're going to be playing?
We're on Instagram, but I don't do much over there. We're very busy people, I guess. But no, we have found that our Facebook page really is the best way to put our schedule out there. We leave it at the top, pinned to the top of the page. And of course, we always tell the folks at our gigs where we're going to be next.
And we do have some folks that have now computers, or they aren't able to do those types of things on their phones and such. So we have actually mailed out schedules to people if they ask for them. You know, we're happy to do that.
Awesome. I think Facebook is a good venue, especially for people of my age group, the older generation. That's where most people go for that information. I do like part of your logo, too. It kind of looks like a G clef with a rose coming out of it. Really.
That was Deb.
Is that you, Deb? Mm-hmm. Can you talk a little bit about that, how you came up with that?
Well, actually, it was a coworker of mine from Zimmer. He was a designer. I love G clefs. I have a thing about G clef. So he took that and the bass clef and made that design for me, for our group.
So you guys have such a vast variety of songs and styles that how do you pick and choose what songs you're going to play? You had mentioned that A Life That's Good was the first song you ever performed live. What were some of the songs that you first played together 7 years ago, 8 years ago, and some of your songs that are your favorites to play now?
Well, it's interesting that when we first started out in my basement looking at becoming a group, we said we had two goals. We wanted to play songs that people would recognize so that they could have a good time, and sing along, because that is just, people love that. And the other goal was to play songs that no one else in the area was playing and keep some of those songs alive, because you don't hear them live, or you certainly don't hear them around the area. And when we first started out, we were actually picking songs like some of the Louvin brothers. I mean, we went way back in the country machine. We evolved our song list, though, over the years, because we dropped some of those songs. Because what we found, I think the girls would agree, that first year we were loving singing those songs, but we found that the songs that would get the most crowd participation were where we wanted to go. So we started picking songs with that in mind and sing along type songs. People, they love that, and we love that too. So that song list evolved from what we loved, what we found interesting to play that no one else was playing. And a lot of classic country at the beginning. We evolved that into kind of where we are now with Fleetwood Mac and Carly Simon. And that's the thing. We get along pretty well in the process of picking songs. What we have found for us is when we're in Deb and Cheryl's space for practicing, that we'll mention a song and we kind of start messing with it. If it comes super easy and we get that feeling, that prickly little feeling on our neck, we're like, that's a song for us. We've also tried other songs that we thought in theory would be great. Crosby, Stills and Nash. Three voices here. They are so difficult, and it wasn't even worth it. It was too much stress, and I was like, no, I don't even want to do that, because every time we play it, it's never going to measure up to the original, and no, just forget that. But we always know.
This is Music Makers here on DNP 102.3. We have Tequila Mary with us today. Let's take a short break. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Music Makers on DNP. I am your host, Randy Powers. We're in the studio talking with Tequila Mary. How do you guys go about picking your songs, and what songs would you like to do in the future?
I'm always fighting for more Beatles songs.
What I like is when I hear somebody do a Beatles song very different. And I heard somebody doing Help, and they did it like a real slow lounge room type of song, and it was just sounded so cool.
Totally agree with that. And our Beatles songs, I mean, they have a real country twist to them, I feel, until the vocals start, and then they don't. They're interesting to me. And one thing about the way we pick our songs, we never think about gender as well. I'd say maybe 80% of our songs are male recorded songs because we like the song. It doesn't matter. And I never, ever, ever change words. Never. I don't like that, and I won't do that. If it was written from a man's point of view, I'm going to sing it that way.
We might not change words, but we forget words and we make them up.
But on your version of I Feel Fine, it's gender gets changed.
It is, and I'll tell you why. Because the way we play it is kind of stolen from the Sweethearts of the Rodeo. They did that. We all knew it that way. And so you're exactly right.
Okay, you're forgiven.
Okay. I can't believe you said that, because I thought of that at home, and I thought, I'm going to talk about that. But that one we do. And then you brought it up. You can't get anything past you. I love that.
He's Larry Karoll.
He's Larry Karoll. He is on the spot.
Can I tell you a quick Larry Karoll story? Because I love this, Larry, and I know you're sick of hearing it. Larry came out to hear us one night. And it was a night where we did not take a break.
Most nights.
Which are most nights. Unless we see Larry Karoll. And then was like, we better take a break. But Larry got a hold of me and said, I have to tell you something. He said, you need to get out there and schmooze with the people. And he goes, you're not doing that. You need to get out there and schmooze with them. Let them know who you are, let them tell, and I thought, probably should, but we don't. I mean, we try to schmooze before we start or,
I feel like we schmooze a lot during the whole set. We talk to the people
them during.
Yeah.
Why don't you do an a cappella of your break song?
We will make every male musician in town hate us if we do that. Should we do it?
Yeah.
We don't take no stinking breaks.
We don't take no stinking breaks.
Only boy bands take long breaks.
Only boy bands take long breaks.
Because the drummer has to pee.
Right. That's the only time we take breaks.
Well, you're talking about the Beatles, a lot of popular music, especially from the 60s and 70s. It's all derivative from the blues, from folk, and from country. Even the Beatles, Ringo Starr, huge country fan. Buck Owens, they did, what was the Buck Owens song, the Beatles?
Act Naturally.
I mean, you could just hear it was so natural from these boys from Liverpool to pull off this.
Yeah. And Carl Perkins.
Yeah, that's right. They also did, what was the song?
Matchbox, and Everybody's Trying to Be My Baby.
That's right, yeah. So, a lot.
If it were up to me, we would put all of those on our song list. But one of us here doesn't like the Beatles, and we won't call her
There's
out.
always one.
Now, you know what? It's not that I don't like them. It's that I didn't listen to them growing up.
This is Deb, everybody. That's
Yeah.
talking. Deb, she's the one.
Because I listened to country music. I didn't listen to rock and roll. So the Beatles, they're, like A Hard Day's Night, stuff like that. It was kind of blinky to me back then, but I know, Penny, don't slap me. I'm just being honest. But through the years, you got Yellow Submarine, you got all these cool songs now. So, okay, the more I'm doing them, the more I like them. So
It's taken you 7 years, but
I'll leave it at that, even though there's a couple songs that we do that Penny doesn't like to do.
Oh, yeah.
Well, let's go into one of those country songs. One of the great things about you guys as a unit is that diversity, because you do have the country, you have the pop, you have the folk, you have the beautiful harmonies and the intertwine between the two guitar players. Going back to the 60s, Marty Robbins, Tequila Mary's version of You Got Me Singing the Blues on DNP 102.3.
Well, I never felt more like singing the blues, 'cause I never thought that I'd ever lose your love to you. Why'd you do this way? Well, I never felt more like crying all night, 'cause everything's wrong, you know that ain't right without you. You got me singing the blues. The moon and stars no longer shine. Dreaming is gone, I thought was mine. Nothing left for me to do. Cry over you. Yeah, well, I never felt more like running away. Well, why should I go? 'Cause I couldn't stay without you. You got me singing the blues. Well, the moon and stars no longer shine. The dream is gone, I thought was mine. There's nothing left for me to do. Cry, cry, cry over you. Hey, hey, I've never felt more like running away. Why should I go? 'Cause I couldn't stay without you. You got me singing the blues. Hey, hey, without you, you got me singing the blues.
That was their version of Marty Robbins' You Got Me Singing the Blues. We were talking to Deb earlier, who is the country aficionado with Tequila Mary. The way you guys play that song, to me, it doesn't really come across as a country song. With the harmonies, and can you talk a little bit about how, when you hear an original version of the song, do you guys try to cover the original version, or does it just come out however it comes out, or what's the...
It seems to just take a life of its own. And in hearing that recording from so long ago, 7 years ago, Actually, I sing that different now. My yodel got way better. I gotta say that. But yeah, the whole vibe of it is different now. And so that's what's cool, is that how these songs evolve over time for us. But when we sit down and start saying, oh, I love this song, do you think we could do it? We say we like Tequila Mary it up. And that's right, because it's just, to try to emulate everything that we want to do is an impossibility. It's not going to happen, and it shouldn't happen. It shouldn't. And that's what's been so fun for us, is to find the sound that seems to just have a life of its own.
Talking about your spin, your Tequila Mary take, or Tequila Mary-ism that you put on songs that you cover, are there any songs that you guys did and maybe put them into your set and then realize down the road, I hate this song?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they're going to, if you ask Deb and Cheryl, Deb especially is going to say, we have this little Motown medley thing that, and I like the songs very, very much. You really got to hold on me and bring it on home to me. And they're great songs. For some reason, I don't enjoy singing them. And when they come up on the list, I'm like, yeah, we'll do those later. And then later doesn't come that night. So that's kind of mine, the Motown thing. I would drop that.
Now, you guys have been together for 7 years now. What are some of your favorite venues to play around the area?
Well, we certainly love the patio at Hans. We are there usually about once a month, so that's a great venue for us. Really, every place that we've played and that we keep returning to, we really, really like it. There have been a few places that we've gone that we've not returned to for sometimes no reason. Maybe we didn't like the acoustics. Maybe we just didn't like how hard it was to load in equipment. I mean, there could be reasons why, but honestly, for the most part, over these 7 years, we've been treated very, very well and very respectfully.
Do you rather keep it in the local Dover, New Philly, Canton area, or do you guys enjoy traveling? Do you travel for gigs?
Well, we don't typically drive over an hour to a gig, usually under 2 if we do travel that far. Yeah, it's nice. We like to keep it local because we get there, we get the job done, get home at a decent hour. You know, our bedtimes are like 9 and 10 o'clock now. So.
Yeah, you know, we've been out this. I like to say, and I've been saying this at some of the gigs, that together, the three of us have over 100 years on stage experience. It maybe doesn't sound like it, but we do. Yeah, we've been at this a very, very, very long time.
Maybe down the road, you could get those 5 a.m. McDonald's gigs.
Right.
Yeah, we're all up at that hour. Yeah, we find that when the gigs go to 10 or 11, we're like, oh, no, we don't do that now. Yeah. I just actually told someone that not long ago, like a week ago. I said, no, we don't do that. And they said, no, we're just open until then. You're not going to play that long. I said, oh, okay.
Let's start with you, Penny. Tell us about some of your influence over the years that you believe how got your style.
Oh, yeah. So everything I own on vinyl and my parents. I mean, it started with the Monkees and the Beatles when I was like 3 years old, Patsy Cline, Buck Owens, everything I heard on the radio. I was the biggest radio kid. I had a Panasonic ball radio on a chain. It was very popular. I think I got it in like 72. I still have it. Unfortunately, it doesn't work. I carried that radio everywhere with me. I mean, that was my whole world. If I had music with me, I was good to go. I've always been like that. But yeah, everything that I grew up with just shaped me. When I heard Linda Ronstadt and her vocal and what she was doing, to me, she's the queen of California country rock. I personally don't think there's ever been a voice like hers. Versatile, and what she makes you feel. I love her. And when I heard her, then I had to buy everything that she ever recorded. And back then she was so popular, 77, 78, that they were repressing all the really early Stone Ponies and the album with the Eagles backing her up. There's one album with them on it, just the self-titled Linda Ronstadt album. I had to run out and get everything I could. Of course, I was only 12, so my mom ran out and bought it and paid for it and brought it to me. But that shaped me big time. And then I started like branching out. 80s, we were playing 5 nights a week, and I got so into, I loved, England's new wave, and I loved Devo, and I loved Blondie. I'm the type of singer that if I can feel something when I hear that song and can relate to the words and there's a story in my head that goes with that song, then I got to sing that song. Like Angel from Montgomery. That is a song I all my life wanted to sing at a band and never could get anybody to play it. That is such a great song and people love
John
it.
Prine.
John Prine. And every band I was in, every guitar player, hey, I got this song. I really want to sing it. No, we're not doing that. I got with them in the garage. And I'm like, hey, do you guys know this song? I start singing it. They're like, oh, that's in. And I'm like, oh, finally. And that is the beauty of this group, is that we all have a say and we really have gotten to do things we never got to do before.
Was Bonnie Raitt an influence on you?
You know, later on in the 80s, I sang a couple, probably 2-3 of her songs. I like her very much. I was always kind of Team Linda, although Linda and Bonnie were friends, you know, sang back up and everything together. I was kind of Team Linda and Emmylou.
They used to hang out on the beach together, if I recall.
Oh, yeah.
It's kind of a shame that Linda, over the years, has lost her voice. Very sad. But she had such a powerful and versatile voice, and she was all over the place later in her career. She was duetting with Dolly and Emmylou, right?
Yep.
And then she did the Spanish music? Or?
She did that, which is still the best, the highest Spanish selling album. I actually have that on vinyl. It's never been on the turntable, and I think it's worth about $100 on Discogs. So I'm glad I never played it. But that she did Pirates of Penzance, the
That's
opera.
right. And so, Nelson Riddle.
Right? Now that is my bucket list. To, at some point in my life, not taking away from Tequila Mary, but a personal goal would be to get to sing those standards. I'm such a big Frank Sinatra fan. I would love to do that. I doubt the opportunity will ever happen for me to do that, and I don't even know if I could sing those songs, but I still would like to try that. But Tequila Mary's home for me. I don't know.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Most of the music that you got turned on to was your parents? Did you have older brothers, older sisters, the radio?
Just the radio. I'm an only child. And so, my mom and dad were, like I say, they were like the Sonny and Cher of the area I grew up in. Everybody going out was going to see Johnny and Nancy. Growing up in a house full of music, my dad was an amazing guitar player. Amazing.
What type of music did they play?
My dad played a lot of country, but he was kind of like me, country rock. And my mom was always the same way. And our band Calico, exactly the same way. We would go from Patsy Cline to Creedence to, I was singing Rock and Roll Hoochie Coo at the Delphian.
Oh, Rick Derringer, yeah.
So we, always had a mix of that. And I've been in some bands for about 5 minutes that were, no, you are singing strictly this. And I'm like, bye, because that's not what I want to do.
You guys like the variety, mix it up. Well, going into some country rock, Graham Parsons from the Flying Burrito Brothers. This is a song that you guys cover called Ashes of Love on DNP 102.3.
About 1971, Troubadour in California, when all the coolest people in the world were playing in that little club. And there's one that the Flying Burrito Brothers did. I dedicate this song to my ex-husband, wherever he may be. Who said that? Ashes of love, cold as ice. You made the day, and I'll pay the price. Our love is gone, there's no doubt. Ashes of love, flame burned out. What looks like a gleam in your eyes has gone out to my surprise. And now we say goodbye. My heart breaks. I can't revive a love that's dead. Ashes of love, cold as ice. You make the day, and I'll pay the price. Our love's gone, there's no doubt. Ashes of love, flame
That was Tequila Mary's version of the Flying Burrito Brothers' Ashes of Love. I was talking with a friend of mine, and he was telling me a story about Graham Parsons. I'm not sure he was on this particular song, but that particular song title is kind of interesting, Ashes of Love, because when he died, his buddy or his manager stole the body, and allegedly his wish was his body to be burnt out in Joshua Tree. It was in California. And so the guy actually did it. He stole the body from the morgue, drove Graham out there and lit him on fire. It wasn't a very good fire. So, but I think that's kind of interesting that you picked that particular
They
song.
stole his body from the airport.
From the airport, okay.
Yeah.
Now that's friendship.
Oh, that
You know,
that is.
that's a good bud right there.
No,
That's
I
gonna.
reckon.
That's jail time. Jail time.
And you know they didn't go to jail.
No, they did not.
No.
They dropped the charges. Yeah.
See, there's where money plays a part.
So speaking of crazy stories, what are some crazy stories that you guys have? Probably mostly gigs that you've done, like people that are a little out of control, or maybe you guys were a little out of control, or
Okay, I'm going to go first. This is Deb. We were playing at Hans' place on the patio, and for some reason we took a break. It might have been a guitar string broke or something. Oh, no, we got a little buddy up to sing, Johnny. Yeah, we got Johnny up to sing. Johnny's been following us for a while. So anyway, while I was sitting there, I'm getting in my purse, and I put it over, it's a crossbody purse, and I put it over my shoulder, and all of a sudden we got to get up and sing. So I got up and I put my guitar on, and we're playing the first song, and I looked down and there's my purse on me while I'm playing. I guess you have to be there, but I looked over at Penny and I went, Penny, look. She looked down and we're cracking up on stage that I was carrying my purse while I'm playing the guitar.
I don't think anybody's ever can say that they did that.
No,
I don't think Gus Lambros has ever done that.
well, maybe it could be considered a percussive instrument.
Right. Yes.
Depending on how much change she had in it.
Got one?
Oh, I don't know. I mean, every night's an adventure, and that's the thing about us. I mean, we have spent more time laughing on that stage, I swear. And when we start laughing, we've just, broken up in the middle of songs, but people seem to like that because we don't try to be anything that we're not. It's just all about having fun. We have never taken ourselves super serious. Never. And we're not super serious people. We all, I feel, have a pretty good sense of humor, and we absolutely can laugh at ourselves, and we do on a nightly basis.
It's interesting you mentioned earlier about Crosby, Stills, and Nash. You mentioned that it's very difficult to do their harmonies. Their harmonies came together at Joni Mitchell's house. They all had known each other, but they met up, and they just started singing together, the three of them. And just like that, magic occurred. How difficult was it for you guys to learn how to harm together? Did you have to practice at it? Did it come more naturally? Do you have to study individual harmony parts?
It just seems to come naturally for us at this point in our lives. There was a point in my life where I had to actually learn the harmony for the song, note for note. Now you just hear it. Penny used to say she can't sing harmony, and we'd be practicing and we'd be singing, and she'd be singing a second or third part harmony. We're like, Penny, that's harmony. You can sing harmony. So, yeah.
Did you have to learn about thirds and fifths, or did it just kind
It's all
of...
by ear.
That's awesome.
I don't think any of us read music, and it just comes out the way it comes out. And I've learned a lot about singing harmony from these ladies because, no, I wasn't a good harmony singer, and I still can't do the bottom part on a few songs if I hear it.
Yes, she can.
Well, it all depends what song it is, but I've learned a lot from it, and I love singing harmony. I wish I were better at it, but these ladies are amazing at it, and they help me.
Well, speaking of one of the greatest bands of all time, and one of the greatest harmonizing bands of all time, this is Tequila Mary's version of the Beatles' I Feel Fine on DNP 102.3.
Baby's good to me, you know he's happy. I can feel it now, he said so. I'm in love with him and I feel fine. Baby says fine, you know he tells me all the time, you know he said so. I'm in love with him and I feel fine. That my baby buys the things, you know, buys me diamond rings, you know he said so. I'm in love with him and I feel fine. Baby says he's mine, you know he tells me all the time, you know he said so. I'm in love with him and I feel fine. I am so glad I'm his little girl. Oh, he's so glad he's telling all the world that my baby buys me things, you know he buys me diamond rings, you know but he said so. I'm in love with him and I feel fine. Yeah, I'm in love with him and I feel fine. I'm in love with him and I feel fine.
That was Tequila Mary doing The Beatles' I Feel Fine. Do you guys have any original music, or have you ever done any? Do you consider doing any?
I have written several songs over my life, but I've never played any of them. In Tequila Mary, I'm not sure I would want to. I wrote them when I was younger, and I would love for the three of us to sit down and do some writing.
I think
really
it would be amazing.
I do too. I do too.
Even if you didn't like some of the songs that you wrote when you were younger, you could maybe bring someone else's songs in that, like from the area.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And maybe do some of their songs.
Right.
Anybody else?
No, I've tried a few times to write, but I don't think I have the talent for it at all.
I wrote a couple. One was a country breakup song and another was a Christian song.
Did you feel that they didn't really fit the Tequila Mary style, or was there a reason why you wouldn't incorporate it? Or
Just never thought about it.
I think you guys would sound amazing on doing original music.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
So I saw on your Facebook page that you guys have matching white guitars, Deb and Cheryl. One's a 12-string and one's a 6-string, and I thought that was pretty cool. You guys looked pretty cool with those guitars.
Yeah, but we don't have them anymore. That were my guitars, a 12 and a 6-string, and I think the reason why Cheryl was playing it was she had a problem with her guitar that day. No, I traded them in. I now have Pearl.
Okay,
Pearl's my girl.
That's your choice. How about you, Cheryl?
I play a Martin D28
Nice.
and an Epiphone EJ200.
Very nice.
Yeah, I love it.
I have a friend who has a Martin, and he loves to sniff it. Picks it up and sniffs the sound hole because, what is it, mahogany or whatever? You know?
My tambourine is from Guitar City.
That's nice. That's nice. They got them at Target, too, in case that one breaks.
And I used to have these great shakers, but they keep breaking on every stage in the county.
Yes.
And we were playing at St. Joe's Festival a few weeks ago, and I looked down, and from 3 years ago when one of my shakers broke, all the little balls were still in the seams of the stage. They've been there for 3 years. I'm like, honestly, yeah, I'm too rough on things.
So this is the We Ain't Dead Yet tour I saw?
Yes.
So that came out of my warped little mind. We got together in January to come up with it, and I just said, man, we ain't dead yet. 2024, and I thought it was funny. And
Well, I think the reason that idea came up is because we said that we sang songs of people that are dead.
yeah, the
A lot
tour,
of songs.
our tour, we call them tours because we'll never really get a tour. So we just call them every year as a tour. And in 2023, it was the Dead Artist Tour because everybody on our song list was dying. Oh my God, what you figure? Everybody getting old.
Yeah.
And
That's hilarious. The band that I was in was called Another Dead Rock Star. And at the time, I worked at a record store, and Frank Zappa died. And so the owners called, and they're like, hey, Frank Zappa just died. Pull all the vinyl out and mark it up. And I thought to myself, because we just started a band, I'm like, how can we? I got it. Another Dead Rock Star, because we're already dead, so we'll be popular. That's right. You know, nobody cared about Frank Zappa until he died. Now he's a legend.
Yeah,
you know? So,
that's great.
well, tell us about some of the upcoming gigs you guys have.
The Alley Cat on a Sunday, October 13th. Alley Cat in New Philly from 2 to 4. It's a really fun day there. October 19th will be at Hans Winery. November 7th, Talaki Pocky on a Thursday night. November 16th, we're going to have a birthday party. Deb and I share November birthdays, so November 16th, we'll be at Hans again, and we will definitely be having a great time.
That's fantastic. I can't wait to come out and see you, and I hope that all our listeners will do that as well. Thank you guys so much for joining us here at the DNP studio here in Dover, Ohio. We're with Deb, Cheryl, and Penny from Tequila Mary. I am your host, Randy Powers, on Music Makers, and we'll see you again in 1 month.